Robin, Everyone Loves the Drake podcast 5-minute comic book review. Hello everybody. Today for Robin, Everyone Loves the Drake podcast 5-minute comic book review, we're going to look at the new Dark Knight Returns, The Last Crusade one-shot. And I didn't really know what to expect from this book. I thought it was mostly going to be a Joker story, but in fact, don't let the cover fool you. The Joker is in it, but it's mostly a Bruce Wayne story. And they always talked in high school, coming of age stories. This is kind of a Bruce Wayne coming of old age story. And I will tell you some spoilers, but not all the spoilers. First, you notice Robin's on the back. The alternate cover has an R. I was wondering about Robin, and it is the Jason Todd Robin that is the Robin in this story. And the artwork is fantastic. John Romita Jr., he's a legend, and his father was a legend too. And he makes Robin look really great. They use the old traditional classic Robin costume, but it looks fantastic. It looks really good. And Jim Lee used that costume too in All-Star Batman and Robin, which is part of this universe. His looked great, but it was very clean, very thin lines. This is darker, thicker lines. The inking looks great. Jason Todd looks really great. And so it almost makes you think they didn't really need a retcon and put these new costumes in the new Rebirth in 52. They could have just stuck with the old stuff because it looks pretty awesome. Mostly deals with Batman trying to uncover some millionaires or billionaires in Gotham who are mysteriously committing suicide or dying. And I won't tell you the villain behind all that. But that story is really secondary to the main story of Bruce Wayne getting old, body breaking down, and him being worried about Jason Todd going over the edge. You can kind of see the makings of the Red Hood in action here. The Joker is in the story, but not as much. And the ending, I won't spoil the ending here, but the ending is almost like it leaves it to your imagination what's going to happen next. So I don't know if they'll come out with a part 2 or a second one to fill it in, but I also kind of like just letting us fill in the gaps with our imagination between the end of this book and the beginning of The Dark Knight Returns, which shows Jason Todd is dead, and it has his memorial in the Batcave, which I believe was before his actual death in the comics, so kind of predicted that. One thing that I did want to spoil for you, there is a reveal of a villain of Killer Croc, and I didn't really like the design of Killer Croc in this. At first I didn't really even know it was Killer Croc. It looked like Tobias Whale, and especially if you've seen Beware the Batman animated series, it looks a lot like that. And it wasn't only until Batman said it was Killer Croc I knew who it was, and in fact if he never said Killer Croc I would have just thought it was just some random henchman or something like that. So a little disappointed in that. But everything else, the artwork, the story, is fantastic. I think if you've never read The Dark Knight, you would like this book. You could read it. You don't have to have read The Dark Knight. Bruce Wayne's internal monologue I thought was really good. I had some issues with the way Frank Miller had written him in the past, specifically Dark Knight Returns Part 2 and All-Star Batman and Robin. Some of that internal dialogue was a little rough. This is really good, done really well. And overall, I would say pick this book up. So put a link down below, down there, for purchasing this book on Amazon or Comixology. Pick it up. If you're not listening to Robin, Everyone Loves the Drake podcast, please do. And thank you, and we'll see you next time.